I play Olivia Dunham, who's an FBI agent, and she's kind of one of those women who I think takes responsibility for everyone. She sort of walks around, I think, a little bit with not the weight of the world, but I think she believes that if she won't do it, nobody will, and so it's kind of like her duty.
Peter is a really dumb, smart guy. And it's on the page. And he's kind of aware of the fact that he's a dumb, smart guy. He has this native intelligence to him where he's probably a couple of steps ahead of everybody else in the room, but he still makes incredibly stupid choices at every step along the way. So yeah, I guess dumb, smart guy, that's the best way to describe him. He's put himself in a position where he needs to make a lot of money very quickly, and I guess susses out that the easiest way for him to do that, and he has to be out of the United States, the easiest way for him to do that is to work as a contractor doing something very, very dangerous in Iraq. So yeah, when we first meet him, he's in that place of jeopardy. But I would imagine for Peter's sake, it's probably not the first and definitely not the last time that he's going to put himself in a precarious situation, partially to make up for a mistake that he's made, but partially also I think he enjoys being at the edge and testing himself. You know, just seeing how smart he really is, seeing if he can put himself just slightly over the line of safety and comfort and be able to make his way back in one piece.
We find Bishop in a hospital, in a mental institution, where he's been for 17 years, and he's very ragged, sort of unkempt, in solitary. He's obviously considered to be dangerous. So, but they have to get him out. The Olivia character has to get him out because he has all this knowledge about certain things that happened all these years ago in research. So she finds the son and then uses him to get to Walter, and then ultimately to get him out because he's the one that can solve the problem of what happened in the pilot on the aeroplane. And so we see this terrible man in a terrible state. He's still deeply affected by the drugs. I mean, be pumped full of drugs and with the after effects of electric shock, which he would have been having, and with the mannerisms that go with that, and the dry mouth and the hand mannerisms and the changes of mood. As it works on, they slowly abate because the effect of the drugs slowly starts to wear off. What we're yet to discover is what happens when they finally wear off. What will happen to him? Will he have a relapse? We don't know that yet. So these are things to be discovered. But that's the idea of this man. You would think couldn't possibly be any help to anyone, except he has these moments of incredible lucidity.
Who is Phillip Broyles? I'm still kind of trying to figure that out myself. He's a real, if you pardon my putting it this way, he's a real hard ass. I'm pretty sure that he has a military background. I get the sense from reading the script and working on the role that he's an ex-Marine.
Ian is a very interesting character. I think one of the things I always like about JJ's work is the fact that the people are so ambiguous, that you don't really know who's good and who's not. And I certainly saw that when I was reading the script. And in discussions we've had, and also with Alex Graves, the director, it's been very much about how can you play the possibilities of many things, which is really interesting. You know, I find so often in American movies and television, people are good or bad, particularly with female characters. You're either the heart and soul of the movie or you're the devil. And I like the fact that we don't know really who this is and what her agenda is.
Astrid Farnsworth, she's about 24 years old. She's just graduated, and she's a junior special agent. So she is the assistant to the character of Olivia. And she's kind of a tech geek. She's really good with computers. And she's a little bit like, Olivia's right-hand man. But what happens as you get more into the story is that Walter's character is introduced. And he's older, and his son doesn't have a very good relationship with him. And so it's like he and Astrid kind of form a bit of a bond because she's a little bit like the daughter that maybe he didn't have because his son and he were estranged for such a long period of time. And so they end up, working together a lot in the lab and helping each other and working off of each other. And I forgot who it was who gave us this analogy, but Astrid's kind of like radar in MASH, like always walking around behind and jotting down notes and making sure that she's keeping up with him because he goes really fast. He's been in this asylum for such a long period of time, and so as soon as he gets out, he kind of like takes off and is working really, really hard to catch up for all these years that he's been out.
Charlie was sort of described to me as sort of like the moral compass of the show. He's a federal agent, and he's just slightly more authority than Olivia.